This baseball report brought to you by Houndstooth in the Crossroads 507 Walnut or at houndstoothkc.com. I got this very fine shirt there, as well as many of my shirts. Make sure to catch them out at houndstoothkc.com. Fine men's clothing at affordable prices. And of course, third generation tailors. So custom suits, tuxedo, whatever you might need. Houndstooth has you covered. Tell my guy Jeffrey I sent you. But let's talk about the Royals as they struggle. In the game yesterday, they lose 7-1 and panic in the streets. And I wouldn't say everybody's panicked. There are more reason, logic, all those things come into place. But a lot of the callers we took in post-game, some of the reaction on Twitter and Facebook after the game, were frustration. Even one person calling it the worst opening day loss in franchise history. Technically, by the way, by margin of victory or margin of loss, it was only the third worst. And by number of hits, it was the second worst. So there are problems. And I think where the panic comes from for Royals fans, and not everybody's in full-blown panic, don't take it that way, but where the fears come from, where the fears you already had, your preconceived notions of inability this team might have in a couple of areas, immediately show up. You're worried about the offense because it underperformed and really struggled last year. It shows up with only 3 hits and strikes out 4 times and rolls into a double play. You're worried about the bullpen because no more Wade Davis. Herrera's the closer. Soria offers you no faith based on last year's performance, although plenty of other years to suggest you should have more faith in him than maybe you do. Those immediately strike fear. When Strahm lets up 4 runs in his short time and then Wood comes right behind and lets up his inning. And again, I don't think Strahm was as bad as everybody thinks he was yesterday. He got a bloop single, then he let up a sacrifice bunt that ends up being a bunt for a single because either he fielded it too slowly or it was a well-placed bunt. Then a sacrifice bunts the next guy pitches. So at this point, he's faced 3 guys and really only tried to pitch to get 1 guy out, and that was a bloop single. Then an intentional walk, then the 4-pitch walk. That was the concerning one. The walks with the bases loaded. That is infuriating. What I remind you is not to let it get to you now. The bullpen, I think, is still going to be okay. It could be, I think it's worse than last year. I think it's certainly worse than 2014 or 15, and it's never going to be that good again. But it can be where it was last year, which was the 7th best earned run average in Major League Baseball, which is okay for a team that's supposed to have increased offense. Now, 3 hits yesterday doesn't make you feel better about it, but give it a little bit of time. This is a lineup that we're unused to from a lot of different areas. Moustakas, who hit the home run yesterday, is back in the 2-hole after an entire season of being gone because of injury. Then Alex Gordon back at the top for a while, and some of these guys are going to have to find their footing. Perez even higher up in the lineup than he's been, and Brandon Moss not showing fruit. Now, 7-8-9 is concerning still, right? Orlando, Escobar, and Mondesi went 0 for 9 yesterday, so that's not helping produce some runs. But the top 1 through 6 is where the runs are going to need to come in this game, and we'll find out whether the Royals can do it. All I'm saying is it's one game, and I know that everybody's not freaking out, but some Facebook and Twitter and comments from people on the radio from the game and callers we took in the Baseball Tonight post-game show yesterday just remind you, it's a game, a single game. And the 2 worst losses in this by average margin of loss, the Royals finished 90 wins in one season and lost 100 in another. One game won't tell us anything. I'm Cody Tapp, here for Sports Radio 810 WHB.